Hi, Jessie, my Jess. You literally are like my best friend. I always know you're gonna be here. If you're not here, I'm gonna notice. I'm trying to look for my face sponges. I'm going to dye my hair. So I figured I can't sleep at night. Hi, Juanita. Hi, Francine. Hi, Lupita. It's literally all of my supporters. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Jelena. My subs. There it is. Let me close the door because I have a feeling that the dog's gonna try to come in here. He's gonna try to come in here all crying. I already know. I was gonna go on like a little bit earlier, but I got into this documentary. Well, not a documentary. I'm actually looking to see if there's one because this incident happened. Hi, Beverly. I missed one of the lives and I was so upset, but I replayed. No. Oh, well, I appreciate the replays. To be honest, it means a lot. Do you guys still get notified or you don't get notified? I know a lot of people haven't been getting notified recently. So I don't know, girl. I think it's because I got all these damn violins. We shall call them violins. One day I will become a supporter. Hey, you're still here. You still technically are a supporter. I always forget not to do this on my eyes because this burns if I do get it on my eyes. I was gonna paint some of those ornaments as well, so maybe I'll do that, but I can't sleep at night. And I ate so good. Hubby made dinner tonight, and bro, it was so delicious. I guess it just tastes better to me when he makes dinner. Showed you out, lady. Thank you, baby girl. I get notified sometimes. Yeah, see, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's really weird. Hi, Karen. Thank you for sharing me out, girly. You like my jacket? Thank you. I want to get the new ones that they just came out with, their hoodies. I originally had gotten this for hubby, but he never wears this, so it's the only thing that fits me now. But have you guys heard this? Okay, so I heard this case happened last year. This little girl disappeared a year ago, and they're barely going to court now. They were basically, it's not like an actual court hearing yet. It's more to determine if the judge feels like there's enough evidence to even go to court. And I guess it is gonna happen. And it is so sad, bro. It is so sad. This little girl was only 13 years old and she went missing. One day so let me give you a little background of her history, okay? So she lives with her auntie. The mom isn't in the picture. She lives with the auntie, and the grandma actually adopted the little girl, but for whatever reason, she was staying with the aunt, okay? That aunt had a boyfriend that she had been dating for 4 years, right? Anyways, the little girl was only 11 years old when this man, the auntie's boyfriend, fiance, was around. So all of a sudden, one day, 4 years later, the little girl's living with the auntie. One day, the little girl doesn't come home after school, It's 6:30 in the afternoon, and the little girl hasn't came home. But instead of the auntie like calling the cops to report that the little girl's missing, she decides, nah, we'll just wait till tomorrow, and if she don't come home tomorrow morning, then we'll call the cops. And I'm just like, she is 13 years old. She didn't come home from school. You haven't talked to her. You haven't seen her. She hasn't called. You don't have a way to get a hold of her. And you're going to wait till tomorrow morning to see if she comes home? Does that not sound weird? Hi, sis. I am feeling good today, except I just can't sleep at night. I told hubby that last night was, well, this morning, because I take the kids to the bus at 6 in the morning. I take my 3 oldest to the bus stop because in the morning, like whenever Serenity and Nate catch the bus comes around 6 in the morning. So I gotta take them because it's cold, bro. It's like literally under 20 degrees and I feel so bad for them. So I take them, right? And then I come back, I hang out for another hour and a half, and then Junior goes to school. And if it's still cold and the sun hasn't came out, then I take him because he goes a little later for the bus. And then I come back, and if hubby's not working, then he will take Jaden to school. And normally I stay awake, but this morning I was so tired. Like, I don't even remember crashing out. I don't even remember if Junior went and asked me to give him a ride to school. I don't even remember Michael getting up because he sets his alarm. I don't remember his alarm going off to get Jaden ready for school. I was like gone, literally gone. Yeah, I would have called right away too. That's why I said it's so weird. But I slept in today, so I feel really good. But at night, you guys, I just, towards the end of my pregnancies, I always feel like this. Well, at least with Jaden and Junior, that's how I felt. Like, I dreaded nighttime, dreaded it because I couldn't sleep. Okay, so let me go back to the story. Hi from Virginia. Hi, girly. Hi, Deborah. How are you guys doing? I don't know if you guys want to hear this. Do you guys want to hear this? Because it's kind of really sad. If you don't want to hear it, we could talk about something else. But if you want to hear the story, I can share. Oh, yes, Madison Soto case. No, not that one. This one is another little girl. Her name... Should I get my tablet? Because I'm sure you guys are going to want to go and look. I can check really fast. Hold on. This one is not Madison Soto. That one was really sad. You know what? It's so crazy that the Madison Soto is really, really like similar to the story I'm about to share. But it's not Madison Soto. This case is out of Detroit. And the little girl's name is Nazaya. And again, she lived with the auntie. Her mom and her dad weren't in the picture. Grandma was her adopted the little girl, but for whatever reason, she was living with the auntie, which is her mom's sister, I believe. But again, the mom, I have no idea where the mom is. Even in the court hearing, like the court hearing that they've been having this past week, even the judge said, like, I've yet to even know where the mom is or the dad. Nobody's brought up the mom. Nobody's brought up the dad, like biological parents of this little girl that's missing. And as of right now, they don't know if she's missing or if she DIE, but most likely they're ruling it as her already being, you know what I mean? She's not alive. Only because of all the proof that popped up. But if you guys don't want to hear this case, I will not share it. It is really messed up, man. When I heard, like, the details, I was just mind blown, bro. Like, what the heck was going on? But it's very similar to Madison. This one is about Naziah Harris and the little boy, the grown ass nasty man that's involved. I don't remember his name, but his last name is Harris. No, but like B-U-T-T. And the little girl is Naziah Harris. The man's name that's involved in this case is something but. You guys do want to hear it. Some people should not be allowed to have children. They don't deserve them. Yes. Okay, I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, but I think it should be like a rule, a law that you are like, as a female, even a man, like I feel like there should be like an actual law that you cannot have babies till you're the age of 25 and older. Even 25, I feel like a lot of females that are 25 and men still haven't developed their mentality or anything fully to even have the patience to cater to children. 25, I feel like once you're 30 is when you have the patience, because I could honestly say with all my kids, I have the most patience with Jaden. And I didn't have my kids, like I'm a young parent, but not beyond young. Like my first, Nathaniel was born, when Nathaniel was born, I was about to be 21. So it's not like I was super old, young, but I still feel like my mentality-wise was young. So I feel like realistically, there should be like some type of law, like you cannot have children, everybody has to be on mandatory birth control, some kind of rule, like a law, that way you have to be 25 and older, because even 25, you still don't have that mentality. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I'd love to hear it. Show us how evil. Oh, this one's gonna really, I just have to be careful how I word stuff, because I have a lot of hating ass, nasty ass, rotten ass, stink ass females that watch me, that don't like me and report me on the daily. That's why I have so many violations right now, because anything that I say that comes off as like violent or harassment, any little thing, they report me, and like this, my videos get hit and I get a violation, and which means every time I get a violation, less and less people see my content. And right now I am like, I got slapped with violations ever since I shared the story with my daughter and her putting the smack down. Hi, Margarita. Thank you for asking, girly. We are all doing good. Everybody's asleep. It's already 12:20 here. Hi, Helen. I'm doing good. I am going to dye my hair. By the way, this is box hair dye is not good for your hair. If you do box hair dye, definitely get it from Slayy'z and get ion. But recently, I haven't had a chance to go to a Slayy'z, because the Slayy'z that was by my house got moved into the city, and I live on the outskirts of the city. So when I went to Walmart the last time I did my hair, I got this one, and bro, I actually love the way it leaves your hair, and I get natural black, and it smells really good. The only thing is that my white hairs come out so bad, and I have so much freaking dandruff right now, because the water here in Rio Rancho is really, really hard. And I bought a shower head that has a filter in there, so it filters the water, but it broke. So I need to get another one. And ever since that, I've noticed that my scalp has gotten so dry because of the water. Like, I'm telling you guys, when I get out of the shower, my face feels like dirt. Like if I threw dirt on my face. But yeah, pinches moscas, hediondas, roñosas, apestosas, mongolas, tontitas, you name it. That's what you call it, everything you want to call them. So I have to be careful what I say. I had my first baby at 17. He was 21. And the church wanted to charge him. Oh my God, we had to go to another church. Wow. Yeah. So I was like, me and hubby were actually talking about that today, because today I don't know if you guys heard, or you might not even be into stuff like this, but like SPM had, if you know his story, he's a rapper. But he's been in prison for 20 years or longer than that. I'm not sure exactly how many, but he's been in there for a long time. So he was supposed to try to get paroled out. And today, I believe they decided that, nope, they denied parole. And he's in there for being accused for essaying not one, but two girls. And the first girl, he actually had a baby with her, and she was a minor. But the story is very, like, a lot of people say, like, it's not his fault, and other people see it as, like, he's an evil person. I honestly don't even state my opinion on it, because I promise you a lot of people go back and forth with that shit. But apparently the 14-year-old or 12-year-old that he got pregnant, he was way older, right? The story supposedly is that she worked at a strip club. So, I mean, that's kind of like a hard situation, because if you think about it, if you're at a club that's 21 and over, and you don't question the people that are in there. So him hooking up with someone like that, I feel like that's why a lot of people feel like, well, you can't really blame the man for it, because how was he supposed to know that this little girl was underage and they let her work there? But the problem is, and he had a kid with this girl, right? The problem is that then later on in life, he got accused of essaying another little girl, a 9-year-old. I don't even know how old she was. So he got 50 some years in prison. So it's like a lot of back and forth with that guy. So he got denied parole today. But I was telling Michael, like, I grew up in the 90s, right? And I feel like maybe even before the 90s, like back in the day, because you hear a lot of stories where back in the day it was normal for young girls to get married at a very young age. But like me personally, like from experience in the 90s, it was very normal for young girls to date older men. I don't know what you guys think about that, but now it's like a huge thing. But back then, I feel like not a lot of people, like, for example, me, I wasn't even 18 when I started dating my son's dad, and he was already 18. But I stayed with him for 9 years, whatever. But I was young. I mean, I was fucking young. And no one ever really saw it or said anything bad. I don't know how to explain it, but now it's like a huge thing. But I know if you go back into like back in the days, it was very common. But I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make it right either way. But anyways, this story is fucking insane, bro. It was different back then. Yes, like nowadays, you can't even say anything. Like, you have to, it's like everybody's walking on eggshells, and I've told you guys this so much. Like, anytime I say anything, like even when I sit here and I talk about doing my wing liner for my eyes, and I say that my eyes, they're very slanted because, you know, my whole life, my whole family, everybody, if you come from a Mexican or Spanish household, anybody that speaks Spanish, they will say when your eyes look like my eyes, we say that they're chinitos. But some people might find it like as racist or offensive that you're saying your eyes look Chinese. But in our reality, in Spanish, that's what you say. Like, some girls, they even call them China because of their nickname, because of their eyes being like mine. So I always have to be careful how I say it. And before I even say that my eyes los tengo chinitos, I always have to say I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being racist in any way. Like, this is just what I grew up with. But that's the world we live in now. So it kind of sucks because you have to be like super careful on what you say. But this case is sad, you guys. So in case I forget, I'm going to tell you guys again. Nazaya Harris. That's what the case is that I'm talking about. This happened a year ago, and I believe they're from, the little girl was from Detroit. The man that's involved, I don't know his first name. I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Butt, like B-U-T-T. Us women need the older men to bridge that mentality gap. I feel like to some point I agree. But then there's always time, like nowadays, like some people might even look at me for agreeing, like, oh my God, you're horrible. Or for you even saying that, like, oh my God, that's so wrong. Because nowadays that's considered grooming. You get like you're grooming. But if you like now, if you're like this situation, this man was 40 some years old. doing things with an 11-year-old. Now that right there is like, what? Like, that's like, like, I mean, I guess I mean, I know this is a lot of information to share, but I didn't even have my period at 11 years old. So I know there is a lot of girls that start their cycle at very, very young age. But at that age, I was still watching Rugrats and shit. So I'm just confused. I know, Sylvia, we don't even have that no more. You don't have freedom of speech anymore because any little thing, even on social media, like I said, the first video that I did where I was sharing about Serenity and the situation, because a lot of people were commenting that that little girl deserved to get her, BUTT kicked. A lot of you guys kept repeating it from different comments saying like she was asking to get her ASSB and all this stuff. I guess because of people commenting that so much, it flagged the live, and plus people were reporting it too. So there's no such thing as that no more. Where's the gloves? Oh, let me take this jacket off. Hold on to make sure my chichis are not coming out, because people cry and come for me that all I do is show my chichis. And don't mind my shirt, you guys. Nothing fits no more. Like, literally. Nothing fits me no more. I could barely even bend over. That's sick. Yeah, it's so sad, though. Like, I just feel like this poor little girl, like, she didn't really have anybody there to guide her or be there for her, because like I said, even the judge was like, dude, this whole time that we've been doing this whole hearing, nobody's even brought up this little girl's mom or dad. Like, are they even alive? Do they even exist? Because again, the little girl was adopted by her grandmother, but she was living at her auntie's house. Rock and roll. Hi. I wasn't thinking about that stuff until I was 18. I mean, I heard about my classmates were doing it and trying to get me to do it, but I was like, really interested. Yeah, see, and I feel like everybody's different, but I remember in 8th grade, literally, like, I remember, okay, to be honest with you, in 6th grade, I had my first so-called boyfriend, and it wasn't even like a real boyfriend. It was more the title, like being like just saying he was my boyfriend, because I was too shy to talk to him. I was too shy to even hold his hand, much less kiss the kid. I didn't even have a cell phone then. How was I gonna talk? Do you get what I'm saying? So it was like an innocent, just the title boyfriend. I had my first kiss in 8th grade. In 8th grade, I thought it was so crazy to hear that all my friends had one time, bro, they had a major, huge party. My mom was really strict, so I could never really go anywhere. But they had I don't know if it was 8th grade or 7th grade. They had this huge party. One of my friends, which again, I wasn't allowed to go. And everybody, they had like a big old sleepover, and a lot of them were like, this friend of mine at the time, her parents were those kind of parents that didn't really give a shit what their kids did, allowed them to drink and party, have boys over, have multiple people over. That it was one of those environments where when you're young, you think like, oh, you gotta go over there because her parents, they're cool, but it's really not cool. It's just like, what the fuck? My mom would never. Anyways, the next day at school, I hear about the party, and it was like a big old messy orgy. Like, literally. The number one story that was floating around, and I really don't give a shit if you watch me and you went to school with me and you were involved. I'm not saying any names, but if this is you, then you know what you did. But there was 2 specific couples that, let's just say it's me and hubby, and then a friend and their man, and we all stayed the night together, and there's other people. But eventually I get my V card taken away from my boyfriend. My boyfriend takes my V card, and then my friend, her boyfriend, takes her V card. So no more virgins, right? But then they exchange boyfriends after. and they do the nasties. That was the number. Like, what? I was just mind blown. Like, I'm glad I wasn't there. I'm glad. I'm glad I wasn't. I was like, what the fuck? And this was either in 7th or 8th grade, I swear on everything. In the 70s, guess it was okay because my brothers got pregnant at 11. Wow. Yeah, but see, back then, Sylvia, I feel like it was very normal. Like, I know for a fact there's even like a lot of religions that would allow their daughters to get married. So now it's like we live in a whole different game. But you know what bugs me a lot, you guys, is like the fact that sex ed is being taught to these kids at such a young age. Like, why the fuck are you teaching kids about sex ed in 6th grade? Hello? Like, I don't even think we got taught in 6th grade sex ed. School's more important than boys. Get your education. Boys will always be around. I always tell my kids that. And even my oldest son too, bro. Like, he's like that. Like, my 17-year-old, he's like, I tell my daughter that too all the time. Like, you don't want to be serious with a boyfriend because the minute you get a boyfriend, everything becomes about your boyfriend. Everything. Like, if your friends are like, oh, let's go to the movies this weekend or come hang out or let's go shopping. And you're like, well, let me see what my boyfriend's doing first. Your life becomes your boyfriend's life, not your life no more. That's wild. Hi, Sophie. Hi, Crystal. Because it's all over the internet. These kids are watching all over it and talking about it. Yes. And then like TikTok and shit, bro. Like, majority... Like, be for real, majority of the TikTok trends is girls shaking their ass. Like, for real, for real. Hi, Kendra. Sophie, so I'm sharing not a documentary, but a case that just happened about a little girl. I haven't even told the story yet, but it's about this little girl, that went missing, and as of right now, they just decided to like determine that she DIE, and it involves an older man. The man was already in his 40s, and this little girl was 13, and there was a lot going on between this man and this little girl, so that's why we're like talking about stuff like that. But yeah, that party was wild, girl. I'm just like... That's why I say, like, I am very open about my life because I know there's a lot of people that know me in real life clearly that have social media. And if anybody ever wants to throw some dirt about me, I'd rather be honest with you guys since day one. You guys know everything about me. There's only a few things that you can throw out there to expose me, and you guys already know about it. You guys know about it. My man went to prison. I used to do drugs. I used to sell drugs too. I think that's like the major stuff. That's it. Or I went to jail for not even nothing serious, but dumb shit. That's it. I've been very open about everything. And now I live a normal 9 to 5 normal life, like normal people. I wonder, I'm going to put a little bit. Oh, I think Junior took my Vaseline. Oh, no, he didn't. Some Vaseline. But I was saying, yes, Kendra, that's what I'm talking about. Naziah Harris. The story is about Naziah Harris. So, just be careful what you guys comment, okay, you guys? Because if not, then my video will be taken down and then I get a violation. So, I'm going to put Vaseline on my hairline. So that way it doesn't dye black. Okay, so anyways, the little girl, right now the trial hasn't started, but they did decide that it is going to go to trial because there is enough evidence to take it to trial. The reason why it was like so tricky for them to even decide if it was going to go to trial yet, and it's been a whole year since this happened, is because there's no body yet. They haven't found the body. There's nothing to determine if she's really here or not, but with the evidence that they were able to find and discovered, then that like just leads to the little girl not being here anymore. And that piece of shit mother effer will not tell them if the little girl is gone or not. He will not own up to it. And he's such a like a delusional piece of shit that he's still in denial that he didn't do nothing with this little girl. But the text messages that were shared in the court hearing between them two was like wild, bro. Like, this little girl was dead ass in love with this man. The shit this man was telling her, like, will blow your fucking mind. That's what I'm saying. Like, are you guys sure you want to hear this story? Because it's so sad. But it's the reason I was saying too that it's very like, it seems like this case is very similar to what's Madison Soto. I feel like it's very similar to that story because I mean they still haven't determined if the guy in the Madison Soto case, if she lost her life due to being pregnant or not, because that was like the word, that's what they were saying, that's why that guy took her life. Because in this case, that's what they're saying, that this little girl lost her life at the age of 13. Well, I don't know if she was already 13 or gonna be 13, because I've heard a few people say she was 12 and some people say she was 13, but she was 2 months pregnant. I feel so bad for her. So basically, the story is the little girl was adopted. Like I said, I'm sorry for repeating myself. I can just keep going back and forth with the story and other stories. The little girl was 13. I mean, the little girl was adopted by the grandma, but for whatever reason, she was staying at her auntie's house. The auntie had a 40-some-year-old boyfriend, right? They didn't have no children together, nothing. But the little girl was staying at the auntie. The boyfriend didn't live there, but clearly there was days that the boyfriend would stay at the auntie's house. I guess at the age of 11 is when they haven't really showed proof of this, but they're saying that since the age of 11, this man came around this little girl's life, and that's when they think he started grooming her. Oh my God, Sophia, that's me, girl. That's literally me. 12 and 18. And I stayed with him for 18 for 9 years. And my whole relationship, I got cheated on, I got beat on, I got mistreated like no other. Hi, Rubina, so trust me, like, now that, like, even my son, you guys, like, my son always says, like, my son doesn't say that his biological sperm donor, because he's not a dad, he's just a freaking sperm donor. He says that's not his DAD. And he says that that guy is a fucking, he says he's basically a ped. Because I was so young when I was with him. So my son, like, hates him so much. I moved out of my house when I was 16. We had our own place and all this, but I was really young. And I feel like when you're in a relationship with somebody at such a young age and with an older man, it's more of like, it's kind of like a parent to you. Does that make sense? I don't know. That's how I see it, at least. Okay, so before I start, this is what I'm using. I know this isn't good hair dye. I suggest to use Ion brand. If you do buy box hair dye, they sell it at Slayy'z only. I just haven't been able to go to Slayy'z, so that's why I'm doing my hair. I'm just mainly doing my roots, and it's mainly the front part right here. Bro, I don't know why the rest of my head doesn't get grays, but just right here where I bleach my hair is where I have grays. And to be honest, before I move on, I think I'm gonna pull this little piece out and not dye this little area, because I think I'm actually gonna bleach this part to have my little patch again. So I'm gonna take that out right away. Let me do that. But anyways, let me get back to the story. So the little girl was staying at the auntie's house. They haven't really shared too much about the case because as of right now, they were waiting to see if they found a body or something. They are going to court right now. They were going to court right now to make sure that there's even a case to go to court because there's no body, right? So if there's enough evidence to take this to trial, then they push it to trial because there's no body. So that's what's going on right now. This past week, that's where the case is like so like kind of trending on all over social media and stuff, is because they were going to court, whatever, and now they determined that yes, there's enough evidence to push this to go to trial, whatever. So I'm just gonna take this much out. So there's no body, nothing like that. Anyways, the little girl was staying with the auntie. Again, I'm not sure why she was even staying there when she's adopted by the grandma. The auntie did have other children. I don't know if she had 2 or 3 kids, but they lived there as well. And the boyfriend used to come around once in a great while. He would come around, stay the night, you know, and eventually proposed to the auntie, but he didn't live there. Hi, Christina. He didn't live there. The guy was in prison before for similar allegations and charges. Really? Yeah, see, I barely started listening to like some of the trial, so I haven't heard any of that. Well, not really the trial, but this hearing thing. So yeah, I heard they did mention something about this isn't new, that this had already, like, this is like, it kind of makes him look bad because it's something that he might have already did in the past. Okay, whatever. So now they're claiming that the little girl has been around this man since she was 11 years old. So I don't know why they think that they had been talking to each other like sexually since she was 11 years old. I don't know why they're saying that, but there has to be a reason if they're saying that, right? But anyways, the little girl goes to school one day. It's already 6:30 in the afternoon. And the auntie says that the little girl didn't come home. Instead of the auntie calling the cops to report her niece as missing, she decides that she's going to wait till tomorrow morning to see if the little girl comes home. That to me is like a huge red flag. Oh, look at how red my cheeks are. And I'm not even hot. Like, I wonder if I'm getting a rash or I'm like getting an allergic reaction, because you noticed, like, at least this part, like, since we started going live, it's getting redder and redder. You see that? Because not even this side, like right here only, but look at my whole cheek. That's weird. Tell me if I'm tripping or you notice that. No, this little girl wasn't like, well, I mean, the little girl wasn't, that was her niece, but in all reality, I mean, wouldn't you be worried that this 12, 13-year-old little girl that is basically living with you, that's your niece, didn't come home? You're going to wait till tomorrow to see if she comes home? Like, that's just weird to me. Like, that's a red flag, bro. Like, why wouldn't you call the cops right away? I mean, I'm sure, because she has her own kids, right? I'm sure if it was her own kid, she would have called the cops right away. Anyways, that's what she did. She waited till the next day to call the cops. The next day, she calls the cops and she tells the cops that the little girl never came home. She didn't come home from school. So then now everybody's looking into it. They couldn't find her. I don't really know what else happened, but apparently they have evidence from Ring cameras that the little girl was dropped off by the bus where she normally gets dropped off. They show her walking. They show what she's wearing. She's wearing like this Rugrat. Wait, I don't know if it's Rugrats or like Hey Arnold. It's like a Nickelodeon jacket with a bunch of cartoons on it. And then on the hoodie, it has like a bunch of fur. So they show her that she was still alive around that time, but then they don't know where she went or what happened after that. Well, at least they haven't showed that. So after all of this, they start like looking into everybody and seeing what's going on. So what made it more like suspicious about the boyfriend is the simple fact that his sister, I guess this, because he owned, so this man owned a body shop, right? Him and the little girl's uncle owned an auto body shop, all right? The Nazaya's uncle and the auntie's boyfriend, they worked together in the shop. They owned it or some shit. So apparently the auntie, I mean the sister of the nasty man, went to his work to have him check out the car because there was something wrong with their car and the guy was supposed to check it, her brother, to make sure that the car was drivable. The car was drivable, whatever. So she said that when she was there, it was between 4 and 6, right? And that she was parked outside of the shop because the shop, you could only park 2 cars in there. But she noticed that this little girl kept getting out of his vehicle and going inside of the shop and then going back to his vehicle. And then she would sit in the vehicle for a while and then she would get out and she would walk to the gas station and then she would come back. So clearly she noticed the little girl right away. Then that's what made her be like, what the fuck, dude? Because now everybody's looking for this little girl that's missing and I seen her at my brother's shop. So she went and told the detectives right away that she had noticed it, seen the little girl at the shop, because he denied it. Yeah, they do. That's what the judge said, you guys. Like I said, it's not a hearing yet. They were just doing the whole to see if it's going to trial. But at the end of her decision, she told that. She literally said, like, to me, from everything that I've heard so far, everybody failed this little girl. From the auntie, from the grandma, where's the mom, where's the dad? Everybody failed this poor little girl. So anyways, the little girl, the lady tells the detective that, like, yeah, I seen her here. She was here at my brother's shop. But then the guy's all denying it. Somehow, I guess they start looking into him and they start finding stuff out. I'm not 100% sure what happens, but somehow now he's on their radar, right? So then the guy gets interviewed, and the guy is like, the portion that I seen of him getting interviewed by the cops, the guy's telling the cops that no, that he don't have nothing to hide. You guys could go through my phone. There's nothing on there. I don't have a reason to even do anything or be involved in this. I'm just dating my fiance is her auntie. Yes, I seen her at the house. I interacted with her when we were there, but I never, I don't have a reason to lie about anything. Somehow, the sister or the mom, I don't know who, the day the little girl went missing, after this whole situation, I'm a little bit all over the place because this video that I seen is little pieces from everything because it hasn't gone to court yet, like an actual trial. But at some point, I don't know if it was the same day the little girl went missing, this man asked either the sister or his mom to borrow their car, which is weird because he has his own car. So he borrowed their car to go do something, I don't know what. It was already late at night. He borrows their car. And then the next day when she gets the car back, I guess they were together. She was with the nasty man or something. And that whoever the auntie, I'm going to say it was the sister, that her children were sitting in the backseat of her car. And whoever it was in the backseat, the kids, they were playing with glasses. And the glasses were clear, like the clear frames that the girls wear, like just for cute. Some could probably be vision, but the clear ones, the kids were playing with those, and that the uncle, the nasty man, he turned around and that he grabbed the glasses and he said, those are mine. Those are my sunglasses. But was acting really weird. Well, later on, those were actually, the little girl wore clear glasses. So then that started to look more suspicious. So the detectives were like, okay. So they start looking more into him. And eventually, they go into the little girl's tablet, and that's where they find everything. Like, Remember how he was all when he got interviewed by the cops, he was all telling the cops, like, I don't have nothing to hide. You could go through my phone, go through my phone. So the cops go through it, and that's where it gets really bad. The messages would blow your mind. The messages are like grown, with like a grown woman talking sexually with her man. And again, she was only 12, 13 years old. This guy was already in his 40s. The little girl was all telling the man, I'm not going to say everything, but there was like a lot of things that just blew my mind. Like, talk about grooming. If that's what this guy did, he groomed, like, this little girl was in love with him. Because some of the stuff, she was like, that's how they know she was pregnant, by the way. Okay, and they can't determine if she really was pregnant or not because there's no body. But the messages clearly were stating she was pregnant. That she hadn't gotten her period for a month. But the little girl was telling the guy was like, oh, I want to see you today. I want you to suck my you-know-what. And then the girl was like, are you going to come over? And then they're like just random messages back and forth. And then there's another one where she's like, I just got out of the shower. And he's like, take off your panties. And then she's like, are you going to come over here to the auntie's house, bro? His fiance's house. And then it gets like where you start noticing that the little girl's like kind of fatal, like in love with this man. She says, why aren't you answering me? Like, it's a different conversation, but she's like, why aren't you answering me? Why aren't you messaging me back? Are you mad at me? What did I do? Like, are you mad at me? I promise you I didn't sneak out. You know I only belong to you and only you. And she's like, I don't, something about her not talking to other boys. And all this shit, bro. And then the guy's like randomly telling her that he misses her and he wants to see her. And then there's other messages where he's saying that he wants to do a 3+ sign. Like, how would you do that? How the hell can you tell a child to have a 3+ with you? And what are you going to bring, another little girl? Because how are you going to bring a grown-ass woman and have a 3+ with a child and a grown woman? You would have to bring another child, right? Like, the conversations were really deep. And then where it started to kind of look like this is probably why he did what he did is when the little girl was like, I need you to get me, she says, I need you to get me, I don't know if she's, the plan B. She says, because I haven't gotten my period. And she's like, and I'm stressing out. I don't know what to do. And then he's like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, I haven't gotten my period in a whole month. And he's like, well, since when? And she says, since I went to the hospital. And then she's like, please, I need you to get it for me because I don't have money to get it. And then the guy's like telling her he's going to get it for her or some shit. I don't fucking know. But then she's like stressing him out about it. And you know what, bro? What gets really weird, yeah, I don't know who that guy is. He's not my brother. I don't know who that is. Where it gets really weird is the fact that, I mean, I don't know, like, in a situation like that, clearly this guy groomed this little girl. She's a child, bro. Like, she might be 12, 13, whatever. But in her eyes, he loves her. Like, in her eyes, she doesn't seem to understand, like, this is not okay. He's 40-some years old. He's my auntie's freaking fiance. Like, everything, if it was okay and it is normal, then why are we hiding about this? Why is he telling me to delete messages? Why does he do it only, like, he would go, I guess he was even pulling up to her house and doing stuff sexually with her while his fiance was not home. I'm like, dude, that's fucking crazy. So a thing, like, something that really made me think, like, what if this poor little girl lost her life over a lie? Because she's a child, right? She, in her eyes, she might not realize how serious it is to tell a grown man that's not supposed to be messing around with you that you're pregnant. What if she don't understand that, right? Because her mentality of thinking as a child, it's like a child, right? But what if she only told him that she hadn't gotten her period because he was ignoring her and she assumed he was mad at her. So she's like, well, maybe I know I'll get his attention if I tell him that I'm pregnant. I know he's going to reply back to me. What if that was the case and he took her life over that and it wasn't even true? Because I know a few people, and when I was younger, that would do shit like that. And probably still adults might even do that too, you know, like, I'm going to scare him because he's ignoring me and I'm going to tell him I'm pregnant. But what if? Because they can't even prove that she really was. Like, and this man's not going to go admit that he really got her a plan B or not. I mean, to me, that everybody's saying like this could be a motive of why he did what he did, why the little girl went missing. Clearly, the little girl was at the shop. The sister told everybody that she's seen the little girl. She didn't see her face, but she's seen her jacket. She's seen the little girl coming in and out of the car. She asked the uncle, and the uncle said, yeah. Well, she asked him. She asked the guy, like, who's this little girl, the brother? And the guy said, oh, that's my partner's niece. So that's why the lady didn't really think much of it. But just imagine that, like, in her eyes, well, this is how I'm going to get him to reply, is if I say that I'm PG. But to him, he's like, fuck, I can't do this. You know, like, she's a little girl, and I'm 4 years deep in with her auntie. And it's just a messy situation, and that's why he did what he did. But what if it wasn't even true? Imagine that. Oh, I know a few crazy bitches, like, literally, legit, crazy females that lie about being pregnant. Oh, do I? No. Trust. Till this day, they're so delusional that they still try to act like it's real. Like that shit really happened. That's when you know people are really, like, lie so much they believe their own lies. So I'm doing mainly my roots because, like I said, that's where my grays are. I'm not really too concerned about the rest, but I'm still going to drag it down either way. So since I already did all this, I'm just going to go back and kind of run my stuff through it. That's the saddest, right? It's sad. I feel so bad for her, the little girl. But anyways, I guess after the auntie said that she let the brother or whatever, I mean the sister, after she said she had let her brother borrow the car, because I'm pretty sure it had to have been the brother and not the man's mom, because she did claim her kids were in the backseat playing with those glasses. I guess they started looking into his GPS on his phone, right, to see where he was going with his phone, and they were able to determine that he was in a certain area. So they started, like, looking in those areas, and they actually found a few things. But I guess there was a man that started doing his own investigation, like helping to see if they could find the little girl's body. And somehow, you guys, he actually came across the little girl's shoes in a certain area. So then when the cops and everybody, like, they were able, like, nobody even knew. It took almost 2 months for them to determine that the sweat inside of the shoes determined that it was the little girl's, like, DNA, and it was hers. That makes him look bad too. And then besides that, they were able to pin out that his phone and his activity was in certain areas. So then when they started looking in those areas, in one of the areas where he spent the most time, they found like a pink bodysuit, and then they found, like, clothing items, but they can't find the little girl, but they found all that, which belongs to the little girl too. Oh, really? I'd probably do a shitty job dyeing my hair, and I should have got 2 boxes. But, like, again, if I need to get more, I'll get more tomorrow. I just really want to do my roots. So what I'm doing is I'm basically just going in like this and squeezing slowly. because I could feel it hitting my scalp, and then I'm actually getting dye in there. Look. So that's what I'm doing back here. But again, and it's burning right there because, like I said, I have dandruff, and earlier when I was sitting here, I was like messing with it como si fueran piojos. But I found a remedy on this girl that I seen on Reels on Facebook that she uses to get rid of dandruff. And normally, you guys, like my dandruff is not bad because I'm always using Foxy Bay, but I don't have any Foxy Bay shampoo stuff right now. I haven't gotten no PR from them in quite a while. And I haven't bought in anything either from them to get it, or I haven't contacted them either, to be honest. So it's really on me too. But when I used to use my Foxy Bay shampoo and stuff, I never had dandruff. And then plus, I had that water filter. But like I said, my water filter broke. And if you live in the Rio Rancho area, our water is really, really hard. But I try, I try. But normally, even though my hair is short, like the length of my hair is short, because I cut a lot of my hair off, even though it's short, I have a lot of freaking hair, bro, like a lot. So I need 2 of these. But that's my little trick, like run it through, or get you one of those bottles that has like the top is like a brush. I have one, I don't know where it's at. And then you run it in there like a Coleman squeeze. I don't know where it's at. And that helps too. But I'm mainly doing it for my roots. And I think the dryness of my water too strips the hair dye too. But again, it's weird. My hair is really weird. My gray hairs only come out in this front portion right here because that's where I always do my blonde strips. Well, Margarita, you know where they found the little girls, like the clothing item, the pink bodysuit and stuff? There's actually swamps in the background, like where they showed pictures, and there's a bunch of swamps back there. So, I mean, if they're in Detroit, I don't really know if there's like alligators or any kind of animals out there like that, but that's probably one reason why they can't find her body. Well, I wear hair extensions, but I cut my hair. I cut my hair because I needed a trim, and I took off a lot of it, like a lot. But I always dye my own hair, you guys. Like even my bleach, I've done my daughter's hair her whole life since I dyed her hair. I did go to school for cosmetology. Sadly, I wasn't able to finish school. You guys think that guy's gonna tell them where the little girl is or no? Whenever they were taking the guy out of the courthouse, like the courtroom, all the family members were yelling at him and telling him, like, just tell us where she is. And that guy's selfish. He's not gonna tell them. Like, how can you live with yourself, like, knowing? But the things, you guys, the text messages that they were saying, like, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like, I was even surprised that video wasn't flagged on TikTok. Because that's where I seen portions of, that's how I even heard about the story. Because like I said, it's starting to trend on social media because the trial just happened, the hearing thing just happened this week. And it's like really, really a sad case. Even though it happened last year. But I was surprised they even allowed it on TikTok because TikTok is very sensitive. And the text messages were wild. Like the conversation, not just the little, like the man, but even the little girl. Like, she was telling him she missed him, or she would tell, whenever he was at the house, she would tell him, she would say, I'm downstairs, or come downstairs so I can sit on you and so I can feel you. Like, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? And then she would tell him, I just got out of the shower, and like very sexual things. And it's like, bro, she literally was in love with this grown ass man. And she was so like, that's like, my daughter's 14, bro. Like, she's not even allowed to have a boyfriend. She's had one boyfriend. And the only reason I even allowed her to have a boyfriend was because she was honest about it. She was honest about it, and she asked, like, she told me, like, oh, this boy asked me out. And then we told her, well, if you're going to have a boyfriend, don't think it's going to be like, Mom, can I go to the movies with him? Mom, can he come over to the house and hang out? Or Mom, can I go to his house to hang out? Nah, baby girl. It's going to be only for the title, like for you just to be able to say that's your boyfriend. You could text, you could talk on the phone, but none of that shit. Because you're literally 14, bro. Like, I barely this year allowed her to go with her friend for her friend's birthday to go to the mall by themselves. Hell no. I remember what I used to do when I used to go to the mall. I went to go look for boys. My mom would only let me go to the mall by myself with my friends because she thought we were going to the movies. Like, literally, bro, my mom would buy us our movie tickets and her convinced we were going to go in there, and we wouldn't go watch the movies. We would walk around the mall like little fucking mall rats looking for boys, to talk to boys. So, been there, done that, girl. No, I don't let my daughter. I could never, bro. I feel like I'll feel more comfortable when she's 16, like to start. And I don't want her to be all fatal either over a fucking boy. Boys are problems when you're that young. So, never, ever, ever. And then that didn't even, after that little situation, she knows better. And now Junior's the one that supposedly has a little girlfriend. But him too, it's just the title. My oldest son, he's 17. He has a girlfriend, but he doesn't ask for her to come into the house, or like if they do stuff, they hang out and stuff, is not in my house. Like, I would not feel comfortable. I don't know, it's weird. I just wouldn't feel comfortable, my son being, even if he's 17, asking me like, Mom, can my girlfriend come and stay the night? Like, she could come hang out. You guys could watch a movie in the living room. I don't know. I just feel like my kids are my babies still. Even when my stepson, you guys, my stepson, he's 20. He's going to be 20 or is 20. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know exactly his age. But I think he's 20, going to be 20. Something like that. Yeah, I think he's going to be 20. He brought his girlfriend. This was like 2 years ago. Brought his girlfriend over for us to meet her. Because this is right before they were going to graduate from high school. And it was so weird to me, bro. Like, and I truly feel like I have no say-so to say anything because, it's my stepson. I do give my opinion here and there if I know it, like if there's something that I need to tell my man, like, no, I don't think that's okay. You should have a conversation, but I never would be like, I know my place when it comes to my stepson. It's different. Now, if my stepson would have lived with us, this whole time me and hubby are together, then that's different. But since he only comes to visit and stuff, I kind of feel like, who am I to say anything? And if I do have any concerns, I tell my man, and then my man, if he feels like it's something that he needs to talk to him about, then he will. But he's a really good kid, you guys. The boys are really calm. My boys are really calm. I'm telling you guys, girls are hard. I got Serenity, and bro, she is a game changer. Right now, me and her, we're giving each other the silent treatment. Fighting with my daughter is fighting myself. Oh yeah, I mean, social media or no social media, I mean, the news don't even share half of the stuff that happens in the world. And that's a fact. They really don't. But I actually don't think that that guy is going to tell anybody where the little girl's body is or what. But if you guys know anything or you've seen any good, like any good documentaries where they share more stuff about the little girl, what did I say her name is? Nazaya? Let me know. 16 is a better age to date. That's the age my mom let her children to start dating. Yeah, see, and I started really young, but I grew up really fast, you guys. Like, I had no choice but to grow up fast because my mom was always at work. My stepdad, sadly, my stepdad got murdered. And then my mom had no choice but to, you know, bust her ass working so we can keep what we had. So I was always by myself because my mom was always at work. It was really hard. So I spent a lot of time by myself. Became very independent at a young age. Really young age. Even like when I was my freshman year, I went to school for 2 months, or well, I don't even remember. 1 or 2 months I went to school my freshman year at the beginning. And then after that, I decided I didn't want to go to school no more. So I started missing a lot of school. Eventually, I wanted to get a job because I wasn't going to school and I couldn't even go back to school due to the fact that I had missed so much school. How was I going to go back without them saying they had to contact my mom? And the schools really don't give a shit because my mom didn't even find out that I had ditched the whole year, basically. She didn't find out till the last 2 weeks of school because they called my mom to ask her if they should just drop me because I hadn't been attending. And my mom, it's crazy to say, but in all reality, my mom wasn't even mad at the fact that I had dropped out of school. But you want to know why? Because I actually had a full-time job as a cashier at a grocery store, even though I was only 14, 15 years old. I think I was going to be 14 years old. I borrowed one of my best friends at the time. I borrowed her prima's papers. So, and like, it's crazy to say, but you know, like a lot of Mexican people that are undocumented, they borrow papers from citizens to get a job because you have to have papers, right? But back then, when I was that young, I wasn't old enough to work at a grocery store. You had to be at least 16, and I was only 14. I borrowed my friend's cousin's papers stating that I was from Mexico so I could get this job. Tell me that's not crazy. Anyway, so when my mom found out I was ditching the whole school, I had a good, I ditched, but I have a job. I've been working this whole time. It's not like I was fucking around. Like, I'm not going to lie. At the beginning of me ditching all the time, I used to go with my boyfriend and, go and smoke. And back then it was like weed was the main thing. Nobody else, and drinking, but I didn't even drink then. We just used to smoke. So my mom wasn't too mad about it. So that's why I said, like, I grew up really fast. Like, I'm over here using Mexican papers to get a job. And that shit was so funny. Because at the beginning, bro, I remember every time they would call my name used to be, what was it? I don't know if it was Mirna or Mireya, something like that. They would call my name, like the bosses and stuff, and I would forget, and my friend's like, dude, that's you, bro, what the fuck? But I had a job, so my mom wasn't too mad, so I've always been very independent and stuff. But that shit's hilarious. Check your messages on both here and your personal page. I sent you some really good reels that you are going to like. Okay, I will. I'm so sorry. I forgot last night or the day that I told you I was. By the way, I went to let me do this. I went to Dollar Tree today, and I was able to find some more stuff to decorate my trees. I didn't find the glue. So I still have my styrofoam stuff. But I did find some conversation hearts, like wooden ones. So I'm gonna actually put those on the tree. So I think instead of just doing pink and purple, I'm gonna do like pink, purple, the yellow, and the green, like the main colors, like from the conversation starter hearts, the candies. Those. Hi Jackie. Yes, I can't sleep at night no more. You guys want to know what the baby is? I'll delete this live. Don't screen record. You want to know the gender of the baby? I'll tell y'all since there's only you guys here. I'm joking, you guys, because somebody will go and screen record and... The things I went through and done at those ages, I'm glad my babies ain't out and think of running the streets, partying, etc. My babies are in the house, don't care for nothing like that. And that's how I am, Sophia, and I don't care either. Like, if people say I'm strict or whatever the fuck, but I'm sorry. Like, you guys could say what you want. My daughter will be... And I always speak... Sorry, I'm all spitting. I only speak specifically about my daughter, about me being more strict with her, because my other kids don't ask to go and do shit, you know? And even if my oldest asks me to go somewhere... I mean, I don't have to worry about him because he's never gave me a reason to worry about him. Like he's going to go and drink and party and do something dumb. And he's 17. There's a huge difference. My daughter has been asking me since she was 11 years old if I would let her go to the mall with her friends to go shopping. The fuck you going? No. You want to go walk around the mall with your friends to go shopping? I'll go with you guys, but I'm going to be there. You're 11 years old. My favorite saying is, you don't even know how to wipe your ass right at that age, and be fucking for real. Now, if you're that type of parent that you're okay with your child being out and about at that age, doing shit like that, toodles for you, but not me. I'm sorry. You could say I'm strict. I don't give a shit. But there's no reason why my daughter should be out there acting like she's all like... I like, no matter what age you are, you guys, like, if there's so many people out there taking children and adults. Predators don't give a shit about you. They don't have an age group. They take them at all ages. Women, children, men, you name them. They don't care. So, no, I could never see myself being like, oh, let me have some of your vape, Serenity. Or going and buying my daughter a new flavor of fucking... I don't vape. Fuck that. I don't vape. I used to smoke cigarettes. Thanks to me being motivated to getting my surgery, my BBL, I quit smoking cigarettes because you can't smoke cigarettes before you get a major surgery like that. Thanks to that, I haven't smoked cigarettes ever since. I have never tried a vape, and I will never try a fucking vape. But me going and buying my child, any of them, even my 17-year-old, a vape, you have to be a whole nother... like, you were raised different, bro, because no. I'm freaking 38 years old, and I wouldn't even ask my mom right now if she could go and buy me a vape or cigarettes. No. I don't cuss in front of my mom either, bro. Like, I was just raised differently. I just never did. I'm not saying I'm an angel or anything like that. Yes, everything I did it behind my mom's back. And that's what I tell my kids. Like, you guys aren't allowed to say bad words. You're not allowed to cuss. Yes, I cuss. I cuss in front of my children. And when people come at me and try to say, like, oh, you cuss too much, and no. I cuss as much as I fucking want in front of my children. But the thing is, when you raise your children with respect and manners, like, I'm not saying my kids are like the most respectful kids there is, but my kids know better. Just because I cuss does not mean you're allowed to cuss. It doesn't. So if it's okay to cuss and do certain things in front of your children, as long as your children are raised correctly where they know they can do it. Just because you do it doesn't mean they can. The difference between you and them is you're the adult. So just because I cuss, ask me how many times I've gotten a call from the school saying that my kids are cussing at school. Never. Never once. Never once. If I ever got a call from school that my kids, Jaden is in first grade to my oldest one being a junior, if I ever got a call of the school telling me your kids are in trouble for cussing or flipping people off and shit like that, then I know that my cussing in front of them is a problem. Then I would not be doing it. But my kids know better. And I tell them, like, I'm not dumb. I know kids nowadays, they be cussing and they act different when they're not around you. We all did it. We've all done it. You can't sit there and say you didn't do that either. But the thing is don't do that shit in front of me. Don't. If you're around other people, like adults, other parents and stuff like that, you have to have respect for them too. But don't you dare. Like, that's one thing I did have to tell my man about his son, was because he was getting older, right? And he would cuss. And I'm like, nah, dude, you're not going to be cussing. If I don't let any of my other kids in this house cuss, and you're not even 18 yet, no, you're like, now I don't care because he's already older. He's not under 18, right? But I had to tell hubby to ask him, like, I'm sorry, but if your mother allows you to cuss at her house, that's fine, but you can't do that here. And that's just my rule. Because then the rest of my kids that are younger than him are going to be like, well, you let Matt do it. You let Matthew do it. You get what I'm saying? But he understood and he doesn't do it. Now, once in a great while, he'll say a bad word here and there when he comes over. But he's older. Like I said, he's over 18. But when he was younger, when he started that, you know, it happened a few times, and then hubby had a talk with him and he never did it again. But it's all how you raise your children, you know. That's why, like, I feel like the way you raise your kids has a lot to do how you were raised. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. In all reality, I never grew up with my mom sharing or buying alcohol for me or giving me cigarettes or letting me invite my friends over to come stay at the house and we're all partying, drinking in the room. Never. Ever. So that's why now that I got my kids, I don't do that with my kids either. The way you raise your children most likely is how you were raised. I could be wrong though. Sometimes people don't want that for their kids and they change their ways, right? Yeah, Rubina, I don't think he will ever own up to what he did to the little girl either. But you know what I was telling hubby? I'm like, okay, because like his fiance, the little girl's auntie, at the beginning, when they first were interviewing her, she was like, no, I would never, ever doubt my fiance. And I know he has nothing to do with it. Like, she was so confident that her man had nothing to do with her niece missing, right? She was all in denial, and she says she knew for a fact that her fiance didn't have anything to do with the little girl, right? But I told hubby, like, because now she's like, was my fiance. We haven't been, like, that's not my fiance no more. She obviously left the piece of shit guy. But just imagine being in a courtroom where you're telling your mom and your siblings and your friends and all these people, you're telling them that you didn't do nothing to this little girl and you have nothing to do with it. And then they start reading the text messages. Imagine you're sitting in court and they're reading these text messages where you're telling a 13-year-old little girl that you want to do very freaky things with her. Imagine how he, like, I mean, he might not even give a fuck because he did what he did, but that to me is insane, bro. Hi, Heather. I think back then parents wanted you to graduate to get a job. I never heard to go to college. Yeah. And you know what's crazy, Jackie? That's what I always say now. Till this day, I tell my kids, and I will stick to it. My job as a parent and goal is for all my children to graduate from high school. Now, if any of my children graduate high school and then they decide to go to college, I'll take that shit as a bonus. Am I expecting it? No, I'm not. As long as my children graduate, as a parent, I feel like I did my job. Of course, I want my kids to go to college. But if they don't go, then what can I do? They're adults, right? I can't force them. But I can force them to go to freaking school and graduate high school. I can force them to do that. But if they end up going to college after they graduate, I'll take that as a bonus. You know, like my oldest son, he had said that he wanted to go to he's since day one he said he didn't want to go to college. He said he wanted to be a Marine. You know, I'm all for it. You want to be a Marine, I will support you in anything you want to do. I'm all for it. Serenity, till this day, has not changed her mind yet. She has 3 things that she really wants to do. One of them is criminal justice. But to do that, she would have to be a police officer, and then she could be a detective. So it's like a lot of schooling for that. That's number 1. Number 2, she wants to do be like a immigration attorney. That's number 2. And number 3, which is like kind of more of a faster, easier route, is go to school to be part of like a OBGYN team and mainly work, I don't know what they're called, but like the girls and guys, I should say, that do your ultrasounds for pregnant women. That's what she would like to do. And the cool thing about it, you guys, is when we went to do my ultrasound with this baby at the place where I go, the doctor that went in there, he was so freaking amazing. And he asked Serenity what she wanted to go to school for. So Serenity told her all these things. And the guy, the doctor actually offered Serenity to join his program that he has, she could actually start, now that she's in high school, she could start this program with him where they start training you and teaching you about ultrasounds and stuff like that, which that would help her in the long run. And they do grants and all kinds of stuff. So I thought that was so freaking cool. So as of right now, those are her 3 options that she has, that she told me about at least. But again, my goal is graduate. And if you graduate, I'll take that as a win. If you go to college, I'll take that as a bonus. But now my son doesn't want to be a Marine anymore. Now he wants to do what hubby does. He actually wants to graduate high school, go get his CDL license, and work for hubby's business. Which I've shared with you guys that my stepson, he was going to college in Las Cruces. Apparently he went for a while and then he just decided it wasn't for him. So he left college, came back home. He got his CDL license like hubby, and now he works for my man. He drives one of the dump trucks. So hubby starting this whole business is like really amazing, and it actually benefits our family so much because we have 4 boys, you guys. And one of them already works for him. My oldest wants to do it too. And Junior, I asked Junior the day before yesterday or last week. This weekend or the day before yesterday, something like that. I asked Junior what he wanted to be when he grows up. And, you know, he says he wants to be a professional basketball player. Well, a professional player for sports, right? And then I told him, okay, well, if that doesn't work, what else would you want to do? And he said, I want to be a trucker and I want to work for Dad too. So, you know, that's pretty cool, right? That's why I am a very, like, when hubby first wanted to start his business, I was kind of very iffy about it because he knew nothing of it. But he already had his CDL license, Class A and B, which is amazing. And he worked for the movies, for the Netflix films. He was already working for them, driving the trucks and stuff. So then when he decided that he wanted to start his own business and buy a dump truck, I was kind of like very scared of him to do that. Even when he was going to go work for the movies, you guys, and hubby was working for the county. He had a really, really good job for the county. And he worked at the city, like the city or the county dump, something like that. And he used to drive like the tractors and stuff. Then his friend was telling him about working at the movies, and it's hard to get into the movies. You know that to work at the movies, you actually have to pay a monthly fee to be on this list to get hired for jobs. So it's not like you get hired, boom, you get a job. No, you got to pay a monthly fee to be on this list, and then they call certain levels to go and work for them to do movie scenes and stuff like that. Which all they do is like they transfer all of the equipment for the movies and the shows they're doing. So when he was going to do that, I was really afraid because I'm like, bro, you have such a good job right now for the county, and like, why do you want to leave? And I get it. It's good money. It's amazing money. So when he left, it was kind of scary because once a movie ends or a show ends, you basically have to wait for them to start another one. But then they call there's so many people working. I mean, the money is amazing, bro. Like when it's amazing. It's worth it. But then it's scary because you also realize there's a bunch of people that most likely are going to get called before you because you're new. They have different groups, A, B, C, D. They're different groups, right? And hubby was on the 4th group because he had just started. So normally, whenever a show ends, they always give the opportunity to A, B to go and do the show. If they don't have a show, then they get first dibs on that, and you gotta wait. And being on the 4th one is kind of scary because it's like, there's gonna be times, there's a lot of, like right now, hubby still works for the movies. They just haven't called his group because they always call A, B, C before they get to him. But he still has the opportunity of getting called and going back to the movies because he still works for them. They just haven't he hasn't gotten the opportunity to go work on a show because those other groups get in there first. Eventually you start moving up, but you have to pay, you guys. So this whole time, like, hubby hasn't worked at the Netflix movies. Like, he hasn't gotten a show to do. It's going to be 2 years. Luckily, the first year he worked there, he made so much money that he was able to buy his dump truck. And now he has his own business, so he does his work. Like, he has his stuff. But if they do call him for the movies, and literally all he has to do is run still his business and still work for the movies. The only sucky thing about it is, like I said, he hasn't done a show for the Netflix stuff in almost more than 2 years, or almost 2 years. And he still has to pay that monthly fee. You have to pay a monthly fee for that shit. Which is crazy. But that's the way they work. That's why when he first told me how it worked and that he wanted to do it, I was like, dude, you have a real, like, not that he had a real job, but you have an actual steady job, a 9 to 5, guaranteed money, you know, guaranteed retirement and all this stuff. But he's like, literally the amount of money I'm going to make in 1 year would not even compare to what he was making over there. So if you're ever interested, or your man is ever interested to work for them, just know that shit is crazy. Oh my God, Juanita, have you heard, well, you're here, I keep forgetting you're from here, but all the girls that went missing in Mesa here in New Mexico is sad. Girl, I think you're gonna have a girl. Really? Do you know that lately, I think lately I've had maybe 4 people say that it's a girl and everyone else keeps saying boy. I've never tried to vape either. Heck no. You know why? It's not that, like, the main reason why I'll never do it is because I know, like, I'll get addicted like this. And the fact that it was so hard for me to quit cigarettes, and what literally motivated me to stop smoking cigarettes was, my light is about to dim out, that bulb. My main reason is the simple fact that I had to have my BBL surgery was what motivated me to quit smoking cigarettes, because if not, I would have never been able to get the surgery. But I was so addicted to smoking cigarettes that I know that if I were to vape, I would probably really like it. And then that's another habit I would have to kick. And I'm not going to set myself up for failure. I just wouldn't do it, because I know that it would be hard for me to quit. Like, fuck that. Imagine how much money, like, I remember all the money that I was wasting on cigarettes. Now, I heard, like, I don't know personally because I've never bought in anything, but I heard vaping, like the vape stuff, is super expensive. If cigarettes are expensive, does anybody know how much cigarettes are right now for 1 pack? Team boy. See, some people say boy, some say girl. Yes, always told my daughter, do as I say, not as I do. I cuss, my kids doesn't. Yeah, see? That's why when people say I cuss too much, and you hear my children cussing, and if you do ever hear my children cussing, I promise you I'm not around, because they know better. And I've calmed down a lot with the cussing, I promise you that. I think she's going to have a girl as well. Really? I'm doing good, Maxine. I'm trying to catch up on the comments, but I'm doing good, you know. It's going to be 2 in the morning and I'm still dyeing my hair. I can't sleep. It's like, even hubby was saying, like, it seems like once it turns 11:30, you get all juiced up. Not my fault. And look at my rash on my arm from that Dove deodorant, bro. I still can't get it off. That shit pisses me off. I never had that until, and I honestly want to say that I must have gotten like a bad batch of deodorant, because I was using it for a while and never noticed it till recently. And I honest to God thought, well, maybe it's just because I'm pregnant and I'm getting chubbier, and maybe that's why my underarms were starting to get dark, because I've never had that issue. But now that I see the big ol', you see the big ol' stain around my arm like that? That's because whenever, well, I don't know if you guys, obviously, I'm sure some of you do this, but sometimes I put on my deodorant when my shirt is already on and I just pull the shirt like that and I put my arm in there and then I spray it, right? So I think that's why it went like this. But I never had, it's like dry or something, bro, because I never had that. You could literally see the stain, look. And I've scrubbed the shit out of my arms, and that's new. My underarms never even looked like this. And to me, I mean, it's not dark like compared to other people, but that all happened from that Dove spray deodorant. And now I'm just, I honestly feel like I don't want to talk shit about the deodorant, but I was starting to think like maybe I just got a bad bottle, like a defective deodorant, and then that happened because I never had that. And I had been using that freaking shit for a while. I'm trying to use the rest of this so that way. I don't waste any. Good night, Jelena. You guys are probably like, girl, it's later than shit. Very true. They should put him on a lie detector test, right? They should. We'll see what happens when they go to court, though. Oh, look at, I'm gonna turn, hold on, you guys, because that keeps dimming, and I'm just gonna take it off because I don't wanna. It looks like it's gonna go out anyways. Yeah, the text messages are proof enough. The raising issue I feel as well is exactly right. Yeah. Like, I know when I was younger, there was specific friends that you knew you could go to their house because their parents didn't give a shit and they would allow you to smoke and drink and like in front of them. Like, some of them probably did it with their parents too at a young age. I could never, bro. I could never see me and my mom or my aunties all drinking and partying together when I was that age. 12, 13 years old. Hell no. So growing up, seeing a lot of my friends' parents be like that, I was like, what the fuck? Is this even real? Like, parents really do this shit? Because my mom was really strict, man. Like, I had a routine. Every Saturday, I had to clean the whole house, bro. Like, the whole house. And the only time I got to, like, do shit was when I would go stay at my friend's house. That's the only time I was able to go and do stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And then I started sneaking out. And my daughter knows that. All my kids actually know that I used to sneak out. But I only share with them to, like, show them, like, it was never worth it. You might think sneaking out is like, oh, I'm going to sneak out to go hang out with some boys and go into this badass party. But the whole time you're so stressed out, your parents are going to walk in the room. You don't even enjoy yourself. And that's what I used to tell my daughter all the time. And the boys. Anytime I snuck out of the house, bro, I had such a miserable time because the whole time I was so stressed out that my mom was going to walk in the room. Or better yet, I remember every time I was going to get dropped off from sneaking out, I would get dropped off. I would sneak out around midnight, 12:30 is when I would sneak out, right? And then I would come home around 6 in the morning. Every time that I was about to come home, my heart would be, because I was like, fuck, is my mom going to be in the room waiting for me? Because I have that type of parent, like my mom is that type of person that she probably wouldn't have called me to tell me, like, I know you're not here, where the fuck are you? She would wait for me to creep in and then be like, hey, bitch, you let me hold the window for you. That's the type of parent my mom was. So, yeah. My kids know, but for only one reason, not to be like, oh, I was so cool because I used to sneak out. No, when I used to ditch school, I told my daughter too, like, it's not even worth it. The whole time I was so paranoid about getting caught by the cops for me ditching. I remember which is so hilarious because I remember that when I would get in the car, whenever I would ditch with my friends, I would get in the car and I would sit like this in the back seat because I didn't want the cops to go and see me because I thought they were going to pull us over and know that we were ditching. Like, they're not going to know. But that's how paranoid I was. I'm going to put the rest of this right here where I always get that my grays come out faster. Oh, that should burn my eye. Oh. My phone is all dirty. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Who's in 11th about high school? I pray he finishes. Oh, girly, I hope and literally pray nothing but the best for you, because trust me, sometimes it's hard and the schools don't make it any easier either. Like today, I finally talked to my son's counselor because I've been trying to get a hold of her since that whole situation happened at the school with him. And then she literally, bro, like she blew my mind because I left her 2 voicemails and then I had to call the school to tell the school that I hadn't gotten a call back from the counselor. So then they instructed me to leave a voicemail with the secretary or to call her secretary so they could tell her that I've been trying to get a hold of her. So the secretary never answered. I left a voicemail with her, and this was on Friday, so she never called me. So then this morning I decided to call the counselor again, and then finally the counselor answered. And then I told her, like, straight up, like I said, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I've already left you 3 messages. And then she tells me this. Oh, I'm so sorry. She said, you probably left the messages on the wrong answering machine. She said, there's 2 people named the same as her. So she's like, you probably left the messages on the other person's voicemail. And then I said, really? I said, well, to be honest with you, I said, I've been dialing this exact number to this extension number because this is the card that was given to me. So I kind of doubt that I was leaving it on the wrong person. Like, how the hell did you not get my voicemails? 3 voicemails, you didn't get them? And then afterwards, she seemed like how upset I was, and she was really, like, nice about it. But I'm like, bro, like, bullshit. I feel like the schools make it really hard for these kids to want to stay in school. Like, they make it impossible. I will help them. If they don't, then they will need to start paying rent. Of course, I agree with you. I mean, that's why, like, my mom, like I said, wasn't too mad at me when she found out that I had dropped out of school, because at the end of the day, I had a job. And then I ended up moving out. Like I said, when I was 16, we had our own, we had our own house. I bought my first mobile home at the age of 21. I bought my first mobile home. And then I sold that all stupid. I should have just kept it because it would have been paid off already. And it was on my mom's land. So basically, my landlord was my mom. And I didn't even have to pay rent space. But since I was still young and dumb, whenever me and my oldest son's sperm donor split up, that's when I was so heartbroken that I didn't want to stay in that house by myself with the newborn. And I regret it so much, man. So much, because I would have paid off that house a long time ago, you guys. A long time ago. A long, long time ago. And again, it was on my mom's property and on her land. All I had to do was get rent from the other tenants that live there. Till this day, every time we go to my mom's land out there, my trailer's still there because I sold it and the people still live there, and I regret it so much. Like, I love my home now, but now I have a big ol' ass mortgage. I mean, we still owe a lot of money. I mean, if you know, you know, but we still over 200,000 deep in. So before we bought this house, I sold my second ever owned house too, my mobile home. I've been very independent, you guys, my whole life. That's why, like, I always say if me and hubby don't work out, I'm not gonna, like, I'll be heartbroken, whatever the situation may be. I might be happy, I might be sad, but one thing for sure, I will not be fucking stressed out because I don't have nothing for myself and I don't have a job, I don't have money, I don't have savings. That will never be my problem because I've always been very independent, to be honest. In my previous relationship, it's like I really didn't have a relationship. I had a fucking son, a grown man's son. Literally. Like, childish. Okay, I'm just going to squirt the rest of this. Because I'm pretty sure by now my hair is already what it's going to be. And I just dropped it on my back. And I don't really care about my shirt, to be honest, because this poor shirt, look at it. It's already stretched out to the max. So I don't really care about this shirt, to be honest. My hair is all everywhere. My bra is a different story. But I'm trying to finish the rest of the hair dye. Hold on, guys, because I just don't want to drop any on the carpet. I'm trying to read all your comments, so I'm kind of behind. I can't pull the chair up now because my dumbass. And my chair, I don't care either, to be honest, because my chair is already all stained. I need a new chair. This chair is trash. Ultrasound tech 2-year program for associate. Oh, really? Yeah, my daughter wants to do that. Like I said, the doctor was really nice about it and said, like, we didn't even know that, you guys, but he was saying she can start already. They have programs for them. So that's pretty cool that she found out that, because that really motivated her. No, hombre. I got it on my shirt. I mean, my bra. Did I? Yep. So I feel you are a superior mother, raising your babies in the best way possible. As thank you. I try. I am far from a perfect mom. I struggle a lot with my kids. One thing I can honestly say that is my biggest struggle with my children is that I think caused more harm than anything when it comes to my children. All of them, except the one in the valley, is I've always tried to give every single one of them, I've always tried to give them everything and more than what I had in my life. By doing that, they're very spoiled and feel very entitled. Like I have to have the new iPhone every fucking time they drop one situation. Or every time I go to the store, I need to get something because for whatever reason they feel like they're entitled to it. Or I'm going to ask for these expensive ass fucking shoes. And I know my mom's gonna, most likely, she's gonna get them. And instead of me being like very grateful for them or knowing that my mom struggled to save that money to buy me those shoes, I'm gonna take care of them and wear them all the time. No, my kids are like, I want those shoes. I get them for them. They wear them once or twice and then they're just thrown. And they're $300 shoes. That's my number one problem. The fact that I've been cleaning my house, doing all the dishes, doing all the laundry, cleaning all the bathrooms, cleaning their rooms majority of their life till now that we moved out here to Rio Rancho. And since this house is so big, everybody got their own rooms finally. So now everybody, it became a thing like, now you have fucking chores. Now you have to make sure your room is clean. Now everybody's going to take a turn to clean the bathroom you guys share. Everybody has to do the dishes. You have 2 days out of the week you got to do dishes. But it's still a problem till this day. Sometimes they forget, or I didn't know it was my day, which I guess it might be everybody's issue. But to me, I feel like it's my fault because they're so used to me doing everything. And I wish that I wouldn't have been like that since they were little. I would have been more on them about chores and stuff. Because in all reality, like I tell my kids, like, I don't have to throw a birthday party for you every year. I don't have to get you a cell phone. What do you have a cell phone for? The cell phone is supposed to be for emergency reasons, right? I don't even really use the phone to call my children. We're all home all the time. So it becomes more of them thinking like they have to have a phone. But in all reality, they really don't. Like all my kids, I've made it a rule to be very, very, like I treat all my kids equally. Nobody's specialer than the other one, right? All of my kids. So all my kids, Nathaniel got his first cell phone at the age of 7. So then all my kids have gotten a phone since the age of 7. Do they really need a phone at the age of 7? No. My only reason why my kids, my 2 oldest, had to get a cell phone at such a young age was because with Nathaniel at the time, I was dealing with, like, I would allow him to go and stay the night with grandparents and stuff like that. I would share my son. With Serenity, I dealt with so much fucking waste of my fucking time bullshit with that fucking family and the sperm donor that I had to have a phone so I could know my daughter's location because the motherfucker refused to tell me where my daughter was at and just made it impossible to deal with. So that's my thing. But now they act like I don't have to pay for your phone. What the fuck? Like, I don't have to pay for your guys' cell phone service because in all reality, what do you guys use your phone for? Half of the time that I call my kids, they don't even answer. Junior is the number one at not answering the phone. Like, or his phone is always dead. What the fuck do you have a phone for then? The purpose is to get a hold of you for an emergency or you to get a hold of me for an emergency, but your phone's always dead. Serenity breaks her phone all the time. She's using an iPhone 7 right now because she broke her 14. I'm not going to, after I already replaced her 14 3 times. I'm not going to keep doing that. So to me personally, as a parent, where I think I failed the most is that. Giving all my kids everything I didn't have. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was in 8th grade. 6th and 7th grade, I used to pretend I had a cell phone. I lied to my friends and said I had a cell phone, but it was really my mom's. The minute my mom walked in the door, I would take the phone to text my friends to pretend I had a phone. Because they had phones, but I didn't. I feel like that's my number one problem. If I could go back into time, that's the one thing I would fix is that when it comes to my kids. That's like, if I could redo everything, I would be more strict with them, like when it comes to cleaning and chores and all of that. Because that's why me and my daughter right now are not talking, because she likes to pretend that she forgets things when it benefits her. But she don't forget the chisme. She don't forget the chisme. She don't forget the drama. She don't forget if I told her I was going to buy her something. She don't forget if I didn't get her something. But she forgets that she has to do the dishes 2 days out of the week, which the days never change, but she forgets. And then she forgets she has to do laundry once a week. She forgets she needs to clean her room once a week. She forgets to clean the bathroom on her day. Do you get what I'm saying? That's my problem. Lovato's in San Jose. So here, his business is legit. So it already has a business name. So he can't change it. But the only reason why he didn't do it, Lovato, and like including the boys, is because there's already a business like that. Plus, I mean, my daughter does exist, so that's kind of like leaving her out. Yeah, for the Netflix films, that's all it is. Like, basically, like when he was working for the Netflix films, whenever there were like whatever shows, his job title was only as a driver. So basically, he would pull up to the Netflix film, like the studios or whatever. He would pull up in the big old fucking truck, and then the workers that their job title is loading and unloading the trucks, they load up all the lights, all of the extension cords, anything that has to do with lighting that goes to that movie set or the show set, they would load up the truck. Hubby was not allowed to help him. He would actually get in trouble if he helped him because that was not his job title. And then he would drive to the location. When he gets to the location where the movie or the show is, he would pull up, and then again, the workers would go, and his job was only opening the back of the truck and closing the back of the truck for them to load and unload, driving back and forth, but he couldn't leave. So if he got there at the Netflix studio, and had to load it up at 8 in the morning, and then it takes an hour to get to the location where they're filming, and they don't leave till 8, 9 o'clock at night, he stays there all day in the truck. That's the only thing that sucks is like, I mean, it's an easy job, but that was the thing is like, depending on what you got hired for, that was hubby's job. He would sit in the truck all day long. He could not leave until he brought all the stuff back. But every job title is different. It just depends on what you applied for. $10 for cigarettes? Are you serious? Depends what kind you smoke. Isabel, girl. How about instead of buying cigarettes, you know what? Hubby takes these little things. They're not like the patches or anything, but they're these, I don't know what they're, Zins. They're called Zins. But I guess it's like to kick the habit of smoking cigarettes or vaping. You take those. That's what hubby does. Which I eventually would love for him to stop using those, because I mean those are an addiction too, right? I mean, you're paying for that shit. But they're Zins. I mean, it's like a little white patch like this, and I guess you just put it in your mouth. I've never done that or used those, but I guess it's to replace cigarettes and vapes and stuff like that. I've never tried it. Never will. And then I had quit smoking cigarettes a long time ago, you guys. I only started smoking cigarettes when I started doing DRUGSs, when I was doing pills. I used to smoke cigarette after cigarette after cigarette. And then I finally was able to quit before I even had my surgery. I quit when I found out I was pregnant, right? I quit. And then Michael started smoking cigarettes. And me, because like when we first moved to this house, Michael started smoking cigarettes. And then I was like, you know what? You don't like, because he always used to tell me, like, I hate when you smoke. Like, girls look so ugly smoking. He would always tell me that. So when he started smoking, even though I wasn't anymore, I was so upset about him smoking. So purposely, I would tell him, okay, well, then I'm going to smoke. Every time you smoke, I'm going to smoke, because he hated it. And then that's how I got started again, smoking because of him. And then luckily, I decided I wanted to do my BBL surgery, and I had to quit, and I haven't smoked since. I know it's hard, but $10, bro, or $12 for cigarettes that's insane. Margarita, that's what I use now. I use like, because I haven't gone to Walmart to get a new deodorant, so I threw away that other bottle because of that stain that I got. So now I just use hubby's deodorant, and that's what he uses. Your body changes when you're pregnant too. Jessica, that's why I thought that my arms were doing that, because I was getting chubbier and because I was pregnant. But I'm telling you, it has to be that deodorant, because that day that I went like this with the deodorant and sprayed. That makes sense on why it's all the way up here, because I was just, trying to spray it. So most likely I went like this with the bottle and it sprayed all the way up here. But see the stain? Like, I've tried everything to get it off, bro. Everything. So I think it had to do with that. My sister's husband smokes cigarettes. He spent $500 on... Priscilla. Wow, that's a lot. Dude, $500, that's a whole car payment. I see your comments, Margarita. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up on the comments. I'm literally like way up here. I'm trying to go through, catch up. Hey, girlie, I'm checking in, love. Hi, baby girl. You're doing an awesome job on your hair. I finally finished, you guys. It's already, what, 2 in the morning? What time is it? Oh, I can't even see what time it is. My phone's gonna die too. My maid of honor used to smoke 3 packs and then panics because she needed more. Oh my God. See? Yeah, that's so sad. Good night, girl. Have a beautiful night. My grandson is ready to be put down for bed. He's only 5 months. Oh, Sophia, that's so sweet. Good night to you and your grandbaby. I love when they're little like that. Today I opened our box of diapers because remember I said we went to Sam's Club and I decided that I'm gonna start stocking up on diapers. And earlier I told hubby that I wanted to open the box because I want to see like just how little they are and the smell of it. And oh my God, bro, the diapers are so little. I got Pampers. I've always preferred Pampers. I know a lot of people prefer Huggies, but personally, I feel like Huggies, from my experience with all my children, every time that I try to use Huggies, I mean, they might be different now because it's been years, but I feel like every time I used Huggies with any of my kids, it would leak. Like they would leak through when it came to like pee and stuff. But with Pampers, I never had that problem. So I'm doing Pampers again, unless the baby has like allergic reaction or something. Are you just, yes, I'm just doing my roots. I left this piece out because I'm going to rebleach this little part right here. So that's why I left it out, because if I dye it black and then I try to use color removal, it's kind of pointless. So I didn't dye this part because I'm going to add my blonde. I wanted to add a little patch again of my blonde, but I'm just doing my roots. Ah, thank you. I'm a cute pregnant girl. Valentine seems so far away. We are positive it's a girl, you and Val. You still, every time I feel like I come on here, I show you guys, like, even my cousin, she thinks it's a girl too, and I'm like, it could be a boy, but it could be a girl. And she wants to know, but I'm like, no, girl, I'm not gonna tell you till we have the gender reveal. Yes, Rubina, yes, you're 100% right. It makes them be responsible and stuff. But I feel like my kids were so used to me doing everything for them. So that's why ever since we moved out here and we had a bigger house, I like, nah, you guys need a help. And my mom gets so mad at me because she's like, I don't know why you don't have them do more chores. Like, you have this big ol' ass house and you have to do everything. And that's why I get in a fight with the kids, because I'm like, all you're responsible is your bedroom, your laundry, and you guys share the responsibility of your guys' bathroom and doing the dishes. That's all I ask. And they don't even do them. They freaking rinse the dishes and throw them in the dishwasher. That's not doing dishes. You're just loading it. And that's all you do. But I don't make them do anything else. And that's what I tell them all the time. Bro, I have literally 3 living rooms that I could make my 3 older ones, each one of them, be responsible for one of them. And I don't. I'm responsible for all 3 living rooms. I'm responsible for my bathroom, the guest bathroom. I'm responsible for the freaking 2 dining tables I have, the 2 sitting areas for, you know what I mean? Like, I have a big house. And that's all I asked them to do was that. And that's why I get so mad at them, because it's like, you guys take advantage, bro. I used to do everything for my daughter too. And now at 21, she is learning to do everything for herself in her apartment. And that, Trish, I was telling Serenity that today, because like I said, we're mad at each other because she forgot to do certain chores. And I was telling her, like, you're gonna have such a hard time. Literally, you're gonna have a hard time when you get older, or if you, I said, don't ever get a roommate, because you're gonna have a hard time. Because she is so stubborn, you guys, like, stubborn. And she always has to have an excuse of why she didn't do it, and she's never wrong. No, girl, no. Only when they want something. But I'm serious, like my junior, my 12-year-old, his phone is always dead. Or if we're going somewhere, the number one fight in the car, let me use the charger. No, I need the charger. No, I need the charger. And it's like, you guys know we're going somewhere, so why don't you charge your guys' phones? Phones are always dead. I had a pager in 9th grade. That was me too. That was I didn't have a cell phone till at the end of 8th grade. And before that, I had a pager, which I think I might have gotten the pager first and then the cell phone. I don't remember. Southern California. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, girly. I know it's super late right now. We're being night owls. I gotta go rinse this and try to go to sleep. I can't see what time it is anymore because for whatever reason, my time thing up here. Sorry, guys. It's already 2:15. I gotta go. But welcome to the Slayy'z fam, girly. If you guys are new, say hi. The girlies are really nice. On here, we do a little bit of everything. So we do chisme. I could be gossiping about my family and my children. Just plain, not really, but sometimes yes. I'm currently having a baby. What else? Sometimes we do cooking stuff. I haven't in a minute. We do a lot of crafting now. I mainly was supposed to be doing makeup, but that kind of stuff too. But mainly right now is a lot of baking and DIYs, like baking the baby and DIYs. But welcome, girly. Thank you for sharing my live. Thank you. Pagers. I have some problems here with my 14-year-old too. I feel like with all my kids, like my 3 older ones, because my little one, Jaden, he's going to be 7. But with Serenity Jr. and Nathaniel, I can honestly say I noticed the attitude change is at 11. All of them. At the age of 11, the eye rolling, the mumbling under the breath, the lying fucking bullshit, attitudes, they start at 11. Literally. Good night, Patsy. And baby girl, good night. Excuse me. Is it Kristen? Hi. Hi, baby girl from Guam. Welcome to the Slayy'z fam, girly. Yes, I'm so happy I stopped smoking too. That's why I'm saying that I would never vape, because I know that I would like this instantly get addicted. That's like setting myself up for failure. Like, no. It's 3 a.m. your time zone. It's 2 here. So the big box of Pampers that I got, I think it came with 200 and some. I got it at Sam's Club. So Sam's Club, I feel like you get a discount. I think it was $40 for 200 and some Pampers. But I haven't checked out Walmart. So I kind of wanted to see at Sam's Club first to be able to kind of see how much they are at Walmart. Because I haven't bought in diapers either. Jaden's going to be 7 in March. So it's been 7 years since I bought diapers. I want my kids to be independent, man, especially like I need them to be independent. Like ever since I moved out of my house and I was doing my own thing, regardless if it was good or bad, anytime I needed help with anything, I've always learned that and it's not by choice or anything like that, or because my mom made me feel some type of way, but to me personally, if I ever needed help with rent, money, babysitting, or anything like that, my mother literally has always been my last resort. I will do whatever to figure it out before I ever go to my mom. My mom is like emergency last resort when it comes to any kind of situation. And that's how I want my kids to be too, you know? Be very independent. Yes, definitely keep LA in your guys and everybody's prayers, man. That's why I was like, dude, the world is crazy because it's all snowing over here, raining in other places, and then LA is really going through it. We need to like send it that way. Good night, Sylvia. Yes, you guys, thank you guys for showing love to everybody. Thank you, Rita. I'm going to be doing more makeup stuff, you guys. I know I had been saying about dropping my new eyeliners, my liquid liners and the brushes. I got my P.O. box. I'm literally just waiting for it to be February because I want to launch them on February. So we're almost there. Or I might even do like an early release drop on my palette, my water activating liners. But I'm really excited. I have everything ready to go. My struggle was going and getting a P.O. box, but I finally got one, like I said. So now it's just activating it and getting it to go. I got my new thank you cards because I needed new ones. And one thing that I am waiting for is my some bags because I just ran out of bags. I actually have to go drop off some orders tomorrow. Yeah, 2 a.m. here. No makeup. Because it's already 2 in the morning. It was just doing my hair. I wanted to show you guys some of the stuff. Let me show you really fast. I have to be quiet though because everybody's sleeping. Some of the Valentine's Day stuff that I found to decorate my Christmas tree. I got so lucky, bro. Like, you know, it's kind of a little bit late right now to buy Valentine's stuff at Dollar Tree because everybody buys it so fast. But look at what I found. Oh, I finally put all my pillows out. Look. I love those pillows so much. My camera always zooms out, but I got those like 2 years ago, I think. I don't remember. At TJ Maxx. But look at what I got. And I'm gonna leave the sticks because I could actually tuck it inside of the tree. So I got this sweetheart, and these ones are wood. I got that one. I got one of each color. This one, this one, and they were all $1.25. This one, and then this one. But I was debating if I should take the stick off because they actually go outside, but I'm not because look, because I could actually see how it zooms out, but I could actually just tuck it in there. And I don't have to, see? Can you see? So instead of taking them off, sorry, I'm trying to make it, there you go, see? I'm gonna leave those, but I only got one of each color. And then I also, let me show you, I also found some of these, which this is what I mainly went for because I'm like, bro, they're made out of wood and I could hang them in the, like add strings and hang them on the tree. But look, and I took the whole box, you guys. These ones are made out of wood. Some of them are a little beat up, but it's okay. I could repaint them. But I got 3 of these pink ones. I got 3 of these. They literally look like the conversation starter hearts. And then I got 2 blue ones because that's all they had. But I love that they're so thick. And then I got these. So I found all those. That's literally all they had. Like, I took the whole case. And then I got one of each of these. These ones are wood too, but I could hang them on the tree. I got this one. It says a love potion. And then I got this one. It says love potion, but in red. And then I got this one that says love is sweet. Oh, my dog. And then I got 4 of these to like put it inside, like kind of like a ribbon inside of the tree, or I might make bows out of these. I got 4 of these. I got the thick ones too, so I got 4 of those. And then lastly, I was able to stock up on these. Remember I told you guys that I regretted so much not getting more, so I was able to find more of these. So I got 3 more light purple ones, 3 pink ones, and 3 hot pink ones. So I think with all the stuff I have now, I could decorate the tree and I'll be good. The only thing I need to finish is painting all of these. I need to finish painting all these ornaments because I still have a bunch of them. Some pink ones and red ones, but now I kind of want to, I also want to do not just pink and red, but kind of do like a blue and a yellow. So my theme is going to be the conversation starter colors. I don't know if I have, because remember I wanted to do just either pink and light pink and purple. So now it's going to be basically, well, like the pillows, but I'm missing a color. So my main colors now, and I could actually add the red too, is going to be colors like this. But that's all I found, and I still have all the stuff I found yesterday, but I'm not going to buy nothing else. I might take some of the Walmart stuff back if I don't end up using it. And to be honest, from here on forward, I'll still try going to different Dollar Trees to see if I find anything. But if not, this is good for now, and then next year I could add on more to it. But I'm trying to enjoy my Christmas tree as much as I can, because honestly next year, well, this year for Christmas, I'm not going to take out all my trees because I'm going to have a crawling baby probably. And yeah, so I'm trying to enjoy the last of my trees as I can because I'm going to have a crawling baby. But I'm going to go so I could wash this out and try to go to sleep. I'll probably eat me a bowl of cereal, something, drink some hot chocolate and see if that'll make me fall asleep. But wash this off my face too. Oh my God, dude, I got scared. Like I felt like I seen a shadow. I gotta go, you guys. I hate when it's so quiet in here and there's like not a TV or something on because I feel like my house is haunted. So when it's quiet like this, because I'm talking to you guys and there's nothing else on, I truly feel like my house is haunted. And then I start hearing stuff. And then now I'm gonna scare myself and I'm gonna run upstairs. I can't even breathe. But I love you guys so much, and welcome to all the new girlies. Make sure you guys go and double check that your notifications for me are still on, because for whatever reason a lot of people's notifications got turned off, and some of you aren't even following me, and not by choice. Like Facebook turned off the option for you guys to follow me. But I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna go wash this out of my hair. I gotta get my hair towel. Here it is. So I could wash this out, and I'll probably sleep with this on, my Foxy Bay hair wrap towel, so that way I don't dye my sheets, because I'm not gonna dry my hair right now. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me so late and keeping me company, you guys. It means a lot. Because I was like, I wasn't even going to go live because I'm like, nobody's going to hop on. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, Rita. Good night, Isabel. You don't get the notifications? Man, that sucks. I'm sorry. Try to see if you might have to add me. Like, if it shows you that you're already following me, click on the follow button again, and then switch. It'll give you different options, and then put me under your favorites. But that might help. So if you go and look and it says you're following me or that your notifications are on, double tap it again, like tap it again. It won't unfollow. You just tap it, and then it's going to ask you if you want to add me to your favorites. And then if you add me to your favorites, you'll automatically get notified for all my stuff. Whether it's a post, whether it's a reel, whether it's a video, a live, you'll get notified right away. But I'm going to go, you guys, because I need to wash this out of my hair. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens with my tree, because I need to get her done. I still gotta do my dining table too. But see, look, nobody did the dishes. I guess somebody forgot that today was their day. See what I'm talking about? Now I gotta be mean and be the Grinch of the house. But whatever. But I love you guys. I'll do that right now. Yeah, just double check it and see if maybe your notifications got turned. I mean, you don't have me on your favorites. Adding me on your favorites is like a new thing they started doing too. So yeah, definitely look into it. But I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good night. Stay warm, stay safe, and I love you guys. Bye.